Hello, everyone, and happy New Year's Eve to everybody. How's it going tonight? Everybody doing well? Everybody having a safe, great New Year's Eve? Yeah, well, I know I am. I wasn't gonna make a video tonight, but I decided, since there's a lot of get-togethers this weekend, and there's gonna be a lot of food. I'm probably not gonna be able to cook that much, so I'm gonna have to run on the treadmill after all the get-togethers that I go to. And my office had a Christmas or a New Year's party today, and there was a lot of food, and I didn't think I was gonna eat that much today. So anyway, I just wanted to take this time and reminiscence about over the year, and then tell you about a great memory that I had. Well, thank you very much, lovely. Great memory or memories, and talk about the future and our content creation, and the future of YouTube and my channel. And then talk about a little bit more, which I've talked about before, about what got me into YouTube and how I'm where I'm at today. And then I was going to read you guys a few inspirational poems about New Year's. So anyway, so let's begin. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a great night? Oh yeah, I see quite a few people on. That's great. Yeah. Oh, I didn't think I would see that many people on. I thought everybody'd be out, be on, doing their New Year's thing and everything. So yeah. Oh, well, that's cool. Anyway, so I've been on here for a year. So I mean, my start date for YouTube was last year on December 11th. So actually, not even that far away from the New Year's. So yeah. It's funny, when I first originally started, I vowed that I would never go on YouTube, actually, and I can't remember exactly why, but I'll think about it here in a second. But when I first started posting videos of my cooking and everything, and my content, and my food critique was on Instagram. I think it was no, it was on Facebook, and then it was on Instagram, and then I mean, and of course Snapchat and all that fun stuff. Um, but I just found, and then actually then I found Rumble, actually, and I was on Rumble for a little while, actually. That's actually where I did a lot of my content, and I was on there for 2 years. But I was really, I was so new, and I'm still new, and I'm still learning about content creation. I just posted a video once a week and everything. And but now, being on YouTube has really helped me evolve about how much I should post, and when I should post, and how often I should post, and things like that. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. I was on Rumble for the longest time, and Rumble is actually is interesting. It's more like TikTok, actually. Basically, you can get monetized right away. And I will say, but I will say my videos do suck on Rumble. They suck. They don't deserve in 100 views, honestly. And there's some good videos on there, and I've taken some of them and posted them. Hello, how you doing, Mondi Valdez? And posted on YouTube. But like the thing is, there's just not that many people on Rumble, and that's why I left Rumble finally, because I have 40 subscribers, and I was on there for 2 years, actually. Most of them are from other countries, actually. Um, yeah, it's just different, and I just really don't know if they have live chats, but I don't know how to work it. I don't know what the guidelines are to get to it. It's different. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool. I learned a little bit, and but then finally, I finally just bit the bullet and got a YouTube channel, and I'm very, very happy I did, because YouTube has been a blessing this year. I have 500 subscribers, and it's only been a year, and I really didn't think I was even gonna get to. I was actually would have been happy to have gotten to 100 subscribers, and I said in the previous video. So yeah, that's one of the blessings that I've had this year, and because I enjoy cooking, I enjoy food critique, and I enjoy sharing it with other people. I really enjoy sharing my passion and my love, and um, my talent for cooking, and rating food with others. So, and I hope I inspire everybody else. So anyway, so that's what got me into YouTube. Well, and that's where I came, and that's how I evolved into YouTube. And the other thing that I did talk about in another video that I wanted to go more deeper into this segment is about why I actually decided to become a content creator, and why I started cooking and everything. I mentioned this before, but I'll go over it just the basics that I left out in my last video. I have another video that explains this, but I'm going to go deeper into it. Um, so basically, I was going through so much, it was December of 2020, COVID was at its peak, and I just went through a breakup. It was kind of a mutual thing, but that's another story in itself. And then right after that happened, I found out my grandmother was dying, and it was really tough, and, I grew up with my grandmother. My maternal grandmother, she's one of the few reasons why I had a childhood. And, yeah, it was really tough, and it just felt like everything was going so wrong. And, anyway, so that was that. And, it was just a really difficult. So I'd say, so to say the least, this was in December of 2020. So 2021 was a really tough year. But, the night is darkest right before the dawn. And, through that, and I realized a lot of things that I've gone through in my life, a lot of problems that I've gone through that were really difficult to grieve or to get through. Some of them I shouldn't have, some of them I believe, I feel like they weren't even that big of a deal, but I grieved over them, even though some of the things that I should have gotten over sooner that I never did. But there's some things that I did deal with, like you said, the passing of my grandmother, which was a lot different because like I've never dealt with that type of thing before, death in the family. So yeah, I realized, the reason, I mean, all the while, all through my life, I mean, when things have happened, I mean, like difficult things have happened, they've always been tough for me to deal with. Even the things that aren't even, that shouldn't even be that difficult to deal with. They should be a little bit more easier to get over. And I realized the reason why things are so difficult and why they just spawn me into a deep depression, which is what I'm normally used to, is because, I never surrounded myself by people that I love. I didn't have that much to live for. I didn't have anything I was passionate about. I didn't have any goals or anything like that. And that's actually what forced me to actually, get out there and, meet people and, actually, force myself to actually, go out and socialize and, get myself out there and, find myself and do some serious, serious soul searching. And, find out what I was passionate about, find out what I loved. And that's actually when I started cooking, when I started, watching cooking shows. And, I went out of my norm, I cooked something, and then I started doing it for somebody that I worked for, a coworker, and that's actually when Mr. Philly was born. So, and like I said, I mentioned this in the previous channel, but I just wanted to go more into depth about why and what I was going through and how it got me to where I was at. So anyway, so there's that. And so yeah, we've had a whole year of content, uploading and everything. And I gotta say, one of my favorite things was the butter chicken. Yeah, the butter chicken was, oh my gosh, it was just oh so delicious. One of my favorite cuisines besides Italian food, being part Italian, is Indian food. I love Indian food. I think Indian food is absolutely delicious. So yeah, there's something about curry sauce or whatever. Yeah, curry sauce or whatever sauce, you're making butter chicken with, or whatever curry you're making. Oh man, it just really gets my motor running. That's why I love it so much. So, that's one of the highlights of the year. And I've been really debating, but I'm going to, this weekend, if all goes well, we are making shrimp and pork egg rolls. Oh yes, I have a really good recipe coming up with that, and we also have a peanut sauce going with it. So yeah, hopefully we'll make that this weekend. Well, maybe, but we'll see how many parties that we go to and see how full I feel. But anyway, so that's that. And but the thing that I really wanted to start with next year, that I've been wanting to make last year too, but I know it's a little bit of a challenge. But I mean, the thing that I love making, but at the same time that I hate, is pizza. Just because I know it takes time to the dough and the mess and everything. But I'm just gonna bite the bullet, and I really want to make you guys a deep dish pizza. I have never had real deep dish pizza, but I did have a store-bought frozen deep dish pizza. I probably should have done a rating on it, but that would have been a whole different ball game in itself. But I actually wasn't that big of a fan of it. No, I liked it, but I mean, real pizza, New York style pizza, would always win, basically. So that's that. But I am definitely going to make you even the simplest format. I hopefully in the beginning of next year, my next recipe will be a deep dish pizza, and that's really what I want to make for you guys. Yeah, I'm really stoked to make something like that. I wanted to make it last year, but I mean, I just, like, I love making pizza, but at the same time I hate it just because it's just there's just a lot of ins and outs to it, rising your dough and what you can do with your dough and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, we're definitely going to get that on track next year. So anyway, all right. So, oh man, is everybody having a good New Year? Oh yeah. Oh, we had a big crowd, but I guess everybody left, so it's all good. Does anybody ever have any other suggestions? That's something that I should cook next year or the beginning? Oh yeah. So when I end this live, I will see you guys next year, which is in less than 2 hours. So yeah. Mm. I really didn't think I had anything planned tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, apparently, my parents called me at the last minute, and we're gonna actually have, New Year's at my brother's house. So that's all right. I wish they would have told me earlier. So I mean, like, I might or might not put off what I'm cooking this weekend because it was really nice today. My work had a great Christmas party, and we had ribs, we had sushi, we had a lot of great food. It was really good. It was really cool actually. So I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm really glad we had that. Yeah, today, and they had a lot of candy. Actually, a lot of candy. I didn't do much of the candy, because I know tomorrow I'm definitely gonna be running on the treadmill. But yeah. Anyway. Oop. So, all right. So this might be my last live for this weekend. I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we will. No, it's a potential. We will still cook the shrimp and pork egg rolls this weekend. So yeah, we'll see. So anyway, I wanted to leave you guys. All right, I think I got everything else I wanted to get out. So I'm gonna leave you guys. I want to read you guys some inspirational quote and a New Year's poem that I was reading earlier that really stood out to me. I really, I'm not poetic or anything like that or into literature or anything like that. But when I read, I do like reading things like that, and they do stand out to me, and they do have a lot of weight to them, and some of them really hit home. So I do like reading poetry sometimes and literature. So anyway. All right, so let's begin with this one poem that I found really, really cool. So this New Year's poem, is by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. All right. What can be said in a New Year's rhyme that has not been said 1,000 times? The New Year's come, the old years go. We rise up laughing with the light. We lie down weeping with the night. We hug the world till it sings. We curse it and sigh for wings. We live, we love, we woo, we wed, we wreath our prides, we sheet our dead. We laugh, we weep, we hope, we fear, and that's the burden of the new year. So beautiful. All right, and this is an inspirational quote. It might be a poem, but no, it's just an inspirational quote that I found that I really liked, that I thought I should read you guys about the new year. A bright, shiny new year, empty, neat, pristine, waiting, ready for us to get it right. And another chance to make a real effort to give more than we get. Another chance to make a difference. A good year, a good new year, a happy new year. There we are. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and follow. This is Mr. Philly signing out. And as always, happy cooking and have a great new year. I'll see you guys next year. Bye.